Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group B student for subject SMS3013, Introductory to Statistics, want to present our research on the topic the uses of petrol in a month by university student. First of all, I would like to introduce my group members, which are Azlinda, myself, Nur Humaira Hani, Muhammad Azrin, and Muhammad Nurdani Rashid. For population and sample, we want to investigate the difference in petrol use in a month between car and motorcycle among University Pendidikan Sultan Idris students. We distributed a survey using Google Form and spread it among upsi students. As a result, we get a total of 38 upsi students, including both genders. Next, we have three objectives, which are to estimate the mean, variance, and standard deviation of petrol use in a month between car and motorcycle. Then, we want to compare the mean of petrol use in a month between car and motorcycles. The last one is we want to identify the correlation between cost and petrol use in a month. For significance of the study on the petrol used by students in a month helps understand their driving habits, financial status, and environmental impact. It shows how much students spend on fuel, which can be a burden on their budgets. Now, take a look at the statistical methods. Our group use these three methods, which are estimation of the mean for two populations. The second one is hypothesis test about the mean for two populations. And the last one, we use percent correlation. For instruments, by using questionnaire research method, we get 28 respondents, which are 16 female students and 12 male students. The questions related to gender, type of vehicle, money spent on petrol, and brand of the vehicle. This is the data analysis from the data that we collect.
First method we use is estimation of parameter for two populations. X is given as petrol used by students in a month. First, we calculate the mean for the car. Mean is equal to total X1 over N1, which is number of sample for the car. Then we get the mean is 52.9979. Then we calculate the variance using the given formula. The variance we get from the calculation is 1547.5257. Then we square root the variance to get the standard deviation. The standard deviation for the car is 39.3386. Next, we calculate the mean for the motorcycle. The mean for the motorcycle is equal to total x2 over n2, where total x2 is equal to 453.32 over 14. 14 is the n2, which is the number of sample for motorcycle. Next, we calculate the variance using the given formula. Then we get the variance for the motorcycle is 847.9195. Then we square root the variance to get the standard deviation. The standard deviation for the motorcycle is 29.1191. From the survey, let X1 bar and X2 bar be the mean of two respective samples, which are car and motorcycle. For car, N1 is equal to 14, X1 bar is equal to 52.9979, and the standard deviation is equal to 39.3386. For motorcycle, N2 is equal to 14, X2 bar is equal to 32.38, and the standard deviation is equal to 29.1191. The confidence level is 1 minus alpha equal to 0.95. To find standard deviation of x1 bar minus x2 bar, we need to calculate SP first. Calculate SP using the given formula, we get 34.6081. Then, we can calculate the standard deviation of x1 bar minus x2 bar, which equal to SP multiplied with square root of 1 over n1 plus 1 over n2. Then, we get 13.1940. Since alpha is equal to 1 minus 0.95, alpha is equal to 0.05. Therefore, alpha over 2 is equal to 0.025. Degree of freedom is equal to n1 plus n2 minus 2 equal to 26. At t 0.025 and 25 degree of freedom, we get 2.056. At 95% interval for mu1 minus mu2 is 20.6179 plus minus 27.1269. Hence, with 95% confidence interval, we can state that the difference between mean petrol use for car and motorcycle is between negative 6.509 to 47.7448 liters in a month. Therefore, on average petrol use for car are spent up to 47.7448 liters more, or 6.509 liters less on petrol use every month compared to motorcycle. By using software which is Jamori, we can get the following result.
Objective, we need to compare the mean of petrol used in a month between car and motorcycle. To compare, we use hypothesis test about the mean. So the first step is we state the null and alternative hypothesis. Our null hypothesis is mu car equals to mu motorcycle. Meanwhile, our alternative is mu car is greater than mu motorcycle. Step 2, we select the distribution. because of N1 and N2 are less than 30, both are small sample. Therefore, we use t distribution to perform the hypothesis test. Next, we determine the rejection and non-rejection region. We assume that the confidence level is 95%. To find the t-value from the t-distribution table, we need to know the area in each tail of t-distribution curve and degree of freedom. So since alpha equals to 1 minus 0.95, we get 0.05 for two tails. Therefore, we need to divide by 2 to get one tail. So the answer will be 0.025. Meanwhile, the degree of freedom will be 26. So we refer to the distribution table, and then we get the critical value of t is 2.056. Next, we calculate the value of t test. Our information is given in the first calculation, which is x1 bar equals to 52.9979 and x2 bar is 32.38. S1 square is 1547.5257 and S2 square is 847.9195. Our N1 and N2 will be 14 and then mu k minus mu m will be 0 based on our null hypothesis. So we will find our first variable, which is S x bar 1 minus x2 bar. We substitute into the formula, which is square root of S1 square over N1 plus S2 square over N2, and we will get 30.08. And then we substitute all our information into the formula of T, which is x1 bar minus x2 bar minus mu1 minus mu2, which is mu car minus mu motorcycle over S x1 bar minus x2 bar. The final answer will be 1.57. And step 5, we make a decision. Because the value of t test is 1.57, it falls on non-rejection region. Therefore, we fail to reject H null since there are not enough evidence from the sample. By using software like Jamovi, we get the result.
Now I will present about our third objective, which is to identify the correlation between liter and cost for car and motorcycle. As you can see here, we have the table for car and motorcycle. This table is used to find the correlation coefficient and scatter plot of data for car and motorcycle and to test the significance of correlation between liter and cost for car and motorcycle. As you can see here, this is the scatter plot for car and motorcycle. As you can see here, cost represents in the y-axis and x represents in the x-axis. And this is the correlation coefficient for both of car and motorcycle. Just use the formula given and substitute the value that obtained in the table from the previous slide. And we get the value of correlation coefficient for car is 0.936 and the value for motorcycle is 0.962. Now we want to test the significance of correlation for both of car and motorcycle. We have 5 steps. First step is state the hypothesis. We have H null rho equals to 0 means there is no correlation between liter and cost, and H alternative rho not equal to 0 means there is a significant correlation between liter and cost. And the second step is find the critical value. Since our alpha is 0.05 and our degree of freedom is 12, the critical values obtained from t distribution are plus minus 2.179. And the third step is compute the test value for both of car and motorcycle. We have our formula here, t equals to r square root of n minus 2 divided by 1 minus r square. Just substitute the value for car and motorcycle, the value of correlation for car and motorcycle, and then we can get the test value for both of car and motorcycle. Next, we make a decision for both of car and motorcycle. We reject null hypothesis or H null because the test value for both of car and motorcycle is greater than the critical value and it falls on the rejection region. And then we summarize the result. Since our test value for both of car and motorcycle is greater than the critical value, then that is mean that there is a significant relationship between petrol use in liter and cost spent on petrol by car and motorcycle. We also can determine how to reject null hypothesis by using software Jamovi. Just look at the p-value for both of car and motorcycle. If the p-value less than the critical value, then we reject null hypothesis. Our p-value for both of car and motorcycle is 0.001, which means less than the critical value, 0.05. Then we reject null hypothesis.
In conclusion, the study analysis respondents are from 28 students, male and female, Universiti Pendidikan Sultan Idris. The difference between mean petrol use for car and motorcycle is between negative 6.509 to 47.7448 liters in a month. Therefore, on average, petrol use for car are spent up to 47.7448 liters more or 6.509 liters less on petrol use every month compared to motorcycle. The value of t-test is equal to 1.57 is less than critical value, which is t equal to 2.056, and it falls on the non-rejection regions. Hence, we can say that petrol use by car is greater than petrol use by motorcycle. Since the test value for both car, which is t equal to 9.2114, and motorcycle, which is t equal to 12.2046, is greater than the critical value, which is 2.179. Therefore, there is significant relationship between petrol use in liter and cost spent on petrol.
That's all from us, and thank you.